Hi people, it's me Anja. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another book tag. Today's book tag is the Trope book tag, so let's get started. The first question is Eavesdropping with miscommunication. Name a book that you expected to enjoy but ended up not. I'm just going to go with the most recent book that I DNF'd, which was Sweet and Bitter Magic. This story is a YA sapphic fantasy and I just expected it to be so much better. I heard a lot of hype about it on Twitter, on Instagram. The cover is really pretty, and I just thought that it was going to be this cute, lovely, fluffy, sapphic YA fantasy. You know what I mean? But I found within like the first 100 pages or so that I wasn't really emotionally connected to one of the two main characters. You know what I mean? This book has two perspectives, and like I wasn't really like finding myself really intrigued by like half the book. You know what I mean? So like I just DNF'd it because I wasn't really interested in continuing it, and I wasn't really intrigued as to how the author was going to develop the chemistry between the two characters, because I'm assuming that the two girls on the cover end up as sapphic girlfriends by the end of the book, but I wasn't personally interested as to how that was going to develop. You know what I mean? Because I didn't really ship them from the very beginning. I know I said that I was only about 100 pages into the story, and maybe like their chemistry hadn't really been established yet, but I wasn't really like getting any hints from it. You know what I mean? And I know that like just because like it's a sapphic YA fantasy, I know that there's more to the story than their romance, but personally I wasn't interested in any other elements of the story. You know what I mean? So I just DNF'd it. So yeah, there's that. The second question is love triangles. Name a series where you can't pick your favorite one. I have so many favorite series. The Great Library series, Series of Unfortunate Events, Harry Potter, the Grisha trilogy. Like there's so many options. So I'm just gonna go with the Grisha trilogy because I love that trilogy so much. Leigh Bardugo is such a genius. I love her so much. I know I've really hyped up this series because it is honestly so good. I truly love the Grisha trilogy so much. I know it gets quite a lot of hate on book Twitter, but I genuinely love it, and I'm so excited to see Alina and Mal and Zoya and Genya and David and everybody else in the TV show. It's going to be so good. So yeah. The third question is not like other girls / didn't know that I'm beautiful. Name a book that had a pretty cover but was boring. So another book that had a pretty cover but I DNF'd was The Hazel Wood, written by Melissa Albert. I have no idea what this book is about, except that it's YA fantasy. It has something to do with fairy tales, I think. I think it might be like a portal fantasy or an urban fantasy or something like that. I really don't remember that much from it, except that it has to do with like the protagonist's grandmother or mother or something like that. I don't really remember how far I was into the story before DNFing it. So like I don't really remember why I DNF'd it, except that obviously I lost interest. So yeah, I would say The Hazel Wood. The fourth question is all-consuming love. Name a book that gave you a book hangover. So in my definition, in my book, a book hangover is like a book that you can't stop thinking about. So I'll just have to go with my favorite books from February. If I'm remembering correctly, were Amelia Unabridged and Yesterday's History. I think that those were my favorite books from February. I'm trying to think of when Last Night at the Telegraph Club came out, because I really enjoyed that book too, but I feel like I read that book in January. I don't know, I feel like February both went by really fast and also really slowly. You know what I mean? I know it's only the 10th of March when I'm filming this, but I feel like February happened both a really long time ago, but also just 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like time just feels so weird. Maybe it's the pandemic, maybe it's because I'm like back in school again. I have no idea. But essentially my answer to this question is Amelia Unabridged and Yesterday's History, because I really enjoyed those two books. They're both so good. Amelia Unabridged, if you didn't see the recent release video where I talked about it, is a YA contemporary, and it was absolutely so cute and lovely and fluffy, and the writing was just so wonderful, and I really enjoyed it. The romance was so well developed and just so good. I think that story is a debut book, and so is Yesterday's History, and neither of them really felt like debut books. You know what I mean? Yesterday's History is also a YA contemporary story with a bit of a fabulistic aspect in it. You know what I mean? Because it's about a young black gay boy who gains the ability to time travel when he's given a new level, and he's stuck between two boys, one in the past and one in the present, and it's so good. Both those books, I didn't really have like really high expectations for them going into them, so they really like exceeded my lower expectations, and we love to see it. Those two books are so good, and they definitely deserve all the hype and so much more. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the answer. My answer to that question was kind of convoluted and all over the place, but you know, welcome to my channel. Anyway, the fifth question is, Douchebag Boyfriend. Name a book that took a while to get into, but you ended up loving. Honestly, I don't have an answer for this question, because if a book takes me a while to get into it, I typically DNF it. You know what I mean? That's kind of what happened with the Hazelwood, if I'm remembering correctly, because I just lost interest, you know? And honestly, with books that I end up completely falling in love with, they don't take me a while to get into. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's that. I don't really have an answer for that question. The next question is, what are your favorite and least favorite tropes? So my favorite trope is absolutely 100% found family. I love it so much, but I also really enjoy fish out of water. I really enjoy that because it really helps me like gain an insight on the fantastical world, to see it through the protagonist. You know what I mean? Like in all the stars and teeth, to really see the protagonist grow. It just really is so helpful to see her being introduced to the new fantastical world through her eyes, you know, instead of having the world already being established and she's already been introduced to it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but essentially my favorite tropes are found family and fish out of water, and my least favorite tropes are insta-love, second chance romance, love triangles, stuff like that. So yeah, there's that. That's the Nope Trope book tag. If you enjoyed this book tag, then consider yourself tagged. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the tree emoji. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.